missing our teammate.
Good evening, folks. Welcome to our next edition of Tier 3 LSA Racing. Right, folks, we are just showing a few things here on the scorecards. So, first up, we are looking at the current driver standings for Tier 3, and this is Season 8 of the LSA. This is League South Africa, all the hottest Formula One 24 racing happening right here on YouTube live from South Africa. Right, so if we have a look at the standings as they are right now, John Co right on top, but not by much, just a couple of points, 7 points separating himself and Blue Turtle. And as a result of last week's race, swapping positions here. So as you can see, Jonko coming up into first position, Blue Turtle falling down to second. Bueta staying there at third position, holding tight after a strong finish, a bit of a recovery last week. Tac Matrix coming up with a great race, getting himself another position up. Skulk unfortunately falling down after last week's race, and Laser as well pulling up 2 positions. So we see a little bit of movement down here as well. We see Osman as well moving up 3 position with a couple of points that he picked up. He qualified really well last week, but unable to finish the race at a good position. So that hurting him a little bit as well. If we look at the constructors' standings at the moment, this is where we're sitting. Aston Martin with a fairly comfortable lead out in the front there with 275 points. As a team consistently scoring points there and putting them in a good position, with Ferrari coming in second, and then of course we have Red Bull and McLaren. Red Bull picking up some nice points last week and being able to jump 2 positions, jumping above McLaren and Mercedes. So that is very exciting. Red Bull there, that's the team made up of Laser and Osman. So again, you know, Osman not doing too great there, but Laser getting some nice points for the team. So looking good. It looks like, folks, we are ready to go. It is 15 minutes past. I'm going to turn this off here. I'm going to make sure that we get a good view on this here as we head into our race for this evening. Alright, I have no music playing today, so you're going to have to excuse me with a bit of the boredom, but that is where we are today. If you are joining us on YouTube, feel free to pop a note there in the chat. Let us know who you are supporting tonight. Don't be shy, and let us know who is your driver tonight. Brazil certainly bringing some really interesting racing for us. Of course, the anticipation is that we're going to have some wet weather, as is not uncommon with Brazil. So I think we're in for some exciting racing. If we see a little bit of weather here, it's certainly going to shake things up a little bit for all the drivers on the track tonight. All right, I'm going to try and hop onto a couple of the other streams tonight just to see if I can get some information for us, some of the point of view streams that we have. So I'm going to hop onto Discord and see if we can find something. Give me a moment while we browse through that, and let me see what I can find for us. Again, unfortunately, Formula 124 not being very friendly to us when it comes to having to switch from screens and switch to different tabs and stuff. So while everyone is loading up and before we get into the heat of our qualifying, I want to just jump us through to a couple of streams here, and we'll see what's happening. Alright, looks like we got Warrior streaming for us tonight, so we'll definitely put that up there for us to see. And then let's see who else we've got on the race. Warrior sitting in the pits at the moment. And folks, it does look like we have got a little bit of rain in the race. Not much though. Definitely some wet weather in the qualifying, which is going to be exciting. You can jump onto Warrior's stream. He's posted that into the members stream there. I'm sure we're going to pick up John Coe's stream here as well. I'm pretty sure he's got one. No, it doesn't look like it at the moment. We've just got Warrior's stream posted in the chat there, so we'll have that up and running for some information. I'm down here in voice 1 if any of the drivers need an invite or something like that, but otherwise, if you're listening to us on YouTube, feel free to say hi in the chat and let me know. Last week we had some sound issues which were resolved very quickly by those around us, so looking forward to making sure we have a smooth sailing race tonight. Alright, yeah, there we go folks, we have some rain on the track, so let's head on over to some of the drivers. Let's see who is out on track tonight. We got a drunk teddy bear heading out there, so let's jump on side with a teddy bear. Let's see what he's doing. Let's change some of our information here a little bit. What are we going to put in? Okay, we got some medium laps, we got some soft. So despite the rain looks like a bit of water on the track, we definitely have some people on slicks out there today. So we'll put out the best time, we'll see what there is, we'll put some telemetry for us, and of course we'll put on our track data and have a look at the map there, see who is up and running. Alright, so a couple of tracks out on track already, a couple of cars out on track already. This is going to certainly give us some entertainment, that's for sure. I'm excited to see where we're going to go tonight and what the race is going to bring us. A little bit of slipping and sliding there from a drunk monkey, and not because he's drunk. Wow, a little bit of Tokyo drift as well. Very, very impressive. He's coming out onto the final straight there as he heads down to the start line. No, sorry, not the start line. As he heads on down to that first couple of corners there. It's going to be interesting to see if they're going to be able to get some heat into these tires with this weather. Looking back at some of the streams here, I'm going to just see if I can also jump onto Warrior Stream and then just see what the weather looked like there. But folks, there's definitely some water on the track here. You can see that by them slipping around. We got a couple of cars off track there. I see a McLaren in the grass. He seems to be coming back onto the field and able to get back on the track without causing too much issue. A couple of people getting in the way here, but this is where we are. Alright, Daddy Kheri setting the first fastest time with 1 minute 14 seconds. Tac Matrix coming in with 1 minute 15, and then we got a 1 minute 14 from Buerta there as well. Let's switch up between some of these cars here for a little bit as we watch them finish off that. Lord Cypher coming around that last serious proper corner, probably one of the only real corners in the track actually, and as he heads down what's really ultimately that final straight to the start line. DRS completely open, cutting that corner just as he gets there, trying to save every meter he can, coming in with a 15.8. Not good enough to get him into the top 5, but just outside the top 5. And a little bit of movement there as well. Warrior jumping into second place. Well done, Warrior. Good job on you there. And let's see what we have got here, folks. I'm going to just switch us to a camera. Let's see who is doing. We got Laser as well out here. So again, I just want to quickly flip here. You know, as we looked at last week, just as a reminder, Laser coming in first position after starting in third. So he's definitely going to want to go out there on the medium, set to 1 minute 18, which is interesting. I'm not sure what the strategy here between the mediums is. Maybe he believes he can get a little bit more traction out there. DRS all the way open, and that of course is going to bring out some times there. Still sitting on that 1 minute 18 as he's on the back side of that track there before he heads into those last couple of corners. I want to just turn this off quickly. There we go, that's going to be better. Alright, so here we have it, folks. Daddy Kheri still sitting on top with his 14.6, 14.7, Warrior coming in second, Buerta there 14.9, and then 15.08 from Tac Matrix. These are some of the cars that are certainly in the runnings. Tac Matrix coming in second place last week, and we'll have a look at those results possibly in between the race and the qualifying. But again, as I showed a little bit earlier there, we've got some interesting racing happening tonight. Currently, if I've got look at the driver standings in front of me here, I see a couple of things. So obviously Jonko, who we're waiting, and here we go with Laser coming around that corner, not doing anything amazing. 17.5 for him, but remember he is on those mediums, so that is certainly going to pose a little bit of a challenge for him there. Not going to put him into those fastest tracks, but let's have a look, folks. Let's have a look. Alright, just seeing who else is on the track here. So Reki still to set a time. Let's jump down. Reki still in the pits there. Jonko heading out now. Not set a time just yet, but we see a bit of a red lap here. Obviously a disqualified lap here, but Jonko, I'm assuming, on those inters now. So one of the first ones, and let's jump onto that, folks. Let's just have a look here, those tires. So only Warrior and Jonko at the moment on those intermediate tires. So let's see what he does here as he coming down that straight. I'm not sure if that was a bit of a warm-up lap, but certainly this is going to put him nowhere close to the top there. That lap not counting. So as we head on down to the first little corner through the chicane, the hard right-hander, then the slower left-hander, and then another left-hander that sets you up for the that old straight, where at the pit exit, let's say, in that bottom straight, this comes out the pit exit. We've got a purple sector from Skulk there, setting an impressive 14-1, so smashing the pole position there. And again, let's have a look there if we can just see what tires that was on. So on softs, so after 2 laps on the softs, Skulk is back in the pits, but setting that fastest time with those softs. Very, very impressive there. It'll be interesting to see if the others try follow suit here. John Coe still on these inters, certainly not going to be putting him into position, but obviously a lot more grip as he goes around these corners, and again heading around that final corner ultimately there before down that sort of almost back straight or pit straight, should I say. So I'm curious to see what he's going to come out there. 107 as he goes past the pit exit, 110, and definitely not going to be in the top, but what I stand corrected. Not in the top, he is the top. John Coe, an impressive 14.028, folks. I want to remind you, those are on the inters. All right, so the next lifetime, which is 100th behind him, is Skulk with his 14.1, and those were on slicks. So John Coe definitely doing something right here, definitely making the right call on those tires, and able to put in an impressive time. Alright, let's see. We've got Revolution out there in the Haas. He is zipping around now as he's on his outlap. Looks like he's a little bit stuck behind some traffic there. So I'm sure he'll back up a little bit to get a bit of space there. I'm going to say it looks like he's got a Williams in front of him, and then he's got the Kick Sauber in front of him. And so we'll see what they're going to do now in a moment. And as you can see, folks, there we go. As he heads up around that corner, he wants to set himself up nicely as he's going to start his first hot lap there. DRS is open, and that Kick Sauber in his way, but both of them obviously going to be on a hot lap here. Let's just have a look quickly at the tires. So if I'm looking, the Kick Sauber must be Tack Matrix, I'm assuming. Yeah, pit is in, Lord Cypher is in the pit, so it's Tack Matrix who's in front of him. Is Revolution going to get a little bit of a tow here? I'm not sure. Revolution on those inters, so pole position currently being held by someone who did those inters. And I'm going to just leave the tires. Sorry folks, I know it's a little bit of a squash there, but let's leave this up for a second. It looks like we've lost laser. I'm not sure what's happened there. I didn't see anything on the radar or the screen, so if you saw something there, just let me know. But this is... we're busy following Revolution here out of the Haas team as well, just trying to see where he's going to come. Had an okay race the previous week, and coming in at the moment, sitting in 13th place in the driver standings. Daddy Fetty switching to the inters there and pulling out a 1 minute 13.7. So Revolution here coming around, finishing his first hot lap on those inters. Let's see what he does. And gets himself nicely up into 7th position. Well done, Revolution. So let's see who else is up here. It looks like we've got some Aston Martins. I want to jump up to, let's see, I think this looks like the other Haas who's coming around, and that's Clark Cale setting his, starting off on his first hot lap as well, also on the inters. So let's see what he gets done here. His teammate coming Revolution up into 7th place on the inters with a 14.7. And Blue Turtle pushing Revolution down now, coming in that 8th, 7th place there in that Alpine. And as we follow the other Haas here around the track, his previous best time, a 15.1. So Clark here now on the inters, trying to see if he can improve his time, get up a little bit higher into the standings. I'm going to just go, so if we have a look here at the race last week, I just want to double check. Yeah, looking good. There we go. Alright. So Clark coming into 13th position, starting on the grid in 7th. He got caught up in a bit of traffic last week, so that certainly hampered his efforts. But let's see what's happening now as he hits that ERS button all the way up that straight, as he hits up the hill, opening up DRS and cutting that corner as you should, getting those every meter that you can. And Clark Gale, very, very nice, representing for Haas there, putting him all the way up into 4th place with an impressive 1 minute 13.88. So if we have a look here at the top, we've got Skulk, who is sitting in 3rd place at the moment. I don't think he's going to be, I think he's going to be wrapping up a lap now. We got Warrior out on track. Let's just see what Warrior's doing. Looks like he is heading into the pits there. Good timing there by your your race team here. And let's see who else is on track. So okay, this looks like Skulk, and it looks like he is shooting right into the pits there. So I'm picking up everyone as they get. Impressive. Daddy Gerry setting another fastest lap there with a 13.5, throwing down the gauntlet to those around him. I want to remind you, last week, Daddy Gerry having a tough race, starting in 5th position, but only coming out in 10th. So having a little bit of a challenge last week, that did not help him with the points, unfortunately. But when we have a look at where he's standing at the moment, sorry folks, let's just see if we can open that up quickly for you. And I'll jump to that on my other screen here. But having a look here quickly. So Daddy Gerry on an even 100 points after Mexico, sitting in 9th position. So he didn't move up or down after the race last week, but I'm sure he's looking to put a couple more points on the board this week, and certainly a win here will definitely jump him up a few more positions here in the leaderboard. Well, it actually won't, I'm sorry. The gap to him, the Warriors, is a little bit more than a win, unfortunately. Alright, let's jump over to some of our others here. We got Jonko, who is hungry for that pole position, setting the first impressive pole position with an Inter, and now everyone really essentially following suit. But Botardi over there in 2nd place on the softs, Skulk 3rd place on the softs, and that's where we're sitting. 4 minutes, folks, left in this session, and wow, this is going to be some impressive racing. I think Brazil is certainly one of the more interesting tracks that we have, definitely one of the oldest tracks. Huge amount of history here, and if we have a few moments, we'll delve into that a little later. But at the moment, let's keep an eye. We've got the last 4 minutes of this qualifying, and I feel like, folks, it's going to be hot. We've got the top 4 in the pits at the moment. Jonko, who is currently sitting in 5th place, is in Sector 2 now, and trying to see what he can do there. Let's have a look as he comes around that and finishes Sector 2. Yeah, 2 seconds down from the lead, so this is certainly not going to put him in anywhere at the top. But I said that last time, and he came out in pole. So you know, Jonko did lay down the gauntlet in the beginning, but it looks like he's easing off on this lap, and as he rounds that last little bend over the start, certainly almost 4 seconds down on his previous time, and we'll see what he's going to do there, folks. Let's jump down to Warrior, who is on an outlap at the moment. So he's rounding that last corner again there. As they hit that DRS zone. Obviously in qualifying you can automatically open your DRS, you don't need to be within 1 second of the car in front of you. And let's jump on board here with Warrior. Tac Matrix, impressive. Also on an Inter from the Kicksaba team, Tac Matrix setting new pole position there, knocking Daddy Gerry off pole with a 13.418. So less than 1,000 here. That other Kicksaba getting out of the way there. I wouldn't be surprised actually if that was Tac Matrix just coming off his hot lap. Here we have Warrior. He said, you know, he's trying some new setups. He's got a bit of a new, when I say setup, I mean his physical setup. So he's trying a different screen tonight, seeing if that has an impact. He's been struggling a little bit for pace this season, not able to keep to where he usually is, sliding a little bit around that corner there, but still holding it together, looking good, looking nice. Second gear as he comes out of that slow bend, good throttle control there, floor to the floor, all the way onto the brakes, a little bit of freewheeling there, and that's always going to cost you a little bit of time, As soon as you're either, if you're not braking and not accelerating at the same time, one of the others, you're definitely losing a little bit of time on track. So something you can look out for there. Definitely some improvement. I see a little bit off on the field there, a little bit of grass. I'm not sure if that's going to slow him down. Let's see where he's at now. 1 minute 11, 12, 13, and as he crosses the line, not bad, not moving anywhere. Eighth position, he will stay. So I see Daddy Kheri. Let's jump up there. Let's see what's happening. We got Skulk as well. Oh, other way. Skulk on an outlap as well. He's heading there. But I think we already, if we jump onto Daddy Kheri, no, he's also a little bit behind. So we've got a couple of people here. Skulk, who definitely wants to get back up there. As you can see, this is changing like hotcakes, folks. We've got some impressive driving taking place here, and we've got a couple of hot laps happening all at the same time. So we'll try and keep you up to date with the latest. Let's see what we've got here. I'm going to say that looks like a drunk teddy bear. No, it isn't. It must be Ricky. I'm going to jump down to Ricky as... Oh, so not. Oh, gosh, guys. Let's see. Who am I finding? It must be... Is it an Alpine? Yeah, it is an Alpine. All right, let's do that quickly. That will be quick fail. Okay, quick fail. All right. But as I promised, let's jump back up to Skulk as he is on his fast lap. Daddy Kheri. These guys are trading things like blows here. Tac Matrix is out. Tac Matrix is out of the session. So along with Laser, we have Tac Matrix out of the session. Not sure what's happening there. We are now out of time. So you're going to have to finish your hot lap and do this nice and quick. Skulk on a hot lap right now and sitting down in 7th position after being on pole for a moment. He is now all the way down in 7th position on soft tires. So one of the only ones, him and Buerta, are the only two on soft tires out of that top 10 at the moment. And Skulk trying to set another fastest lap here to push him up the rankings a little bit for the start. A little bit of slip there and a little bit off track as well. I'm not sure if that's going to cost him. It looks like this lap is going to be lost. I think he lost. He hit the track limits there, and unfortunately, this lap will not count for him. And he's going to duck into the pits and finish off the session there, folks. Let's have a look. Who else is still on track? We got Warrior out on track. Daddy Kheri on track there as well. But he's jumping into pits after doing, well, he doesn't need to do any more, folks. He is on pole position already. I'm going to jump over to Warrior. It looks like he might still be on a lap here as he crosses the finish line. Unfortunately, 0.9 of a second behind his previous time, so he's not going anywhere, staying there in 10th position, folks. This looks like where we are. Daddy Kheri on pole position. Tac Matrix, although not finishing the session, on in 2nd place. Clark in a very nice and tidy 3rd place, and then Osman again, impressive qualifying from the Red Bull driver here. Buerta coming in 5th, and then Teodric in 6th, and that, folks, is going to be our starting order. We'll run through that again as we get back to the racing again, but thanks for being with us here for this qualifying session. I think we're in for an exciting race. I'll keep an eye on the race to see what we've got happening. Let's have a look here. So there we go. Daddy Kheri 1st, Tac Matrix 2nd, Clark 3rd, Osman, who we're going to have to penalize because he still doesn't have the South African flag next to his name. Buerta in 5th, 6th, Teodric, Skulk in 7th, and 8th there, Jonko, and then 9, Drunk Teddy Bear and Warrior finishing off the top 10 for us. Folks, that's going to be us for this side. I'm going to jump over and see if we can find anything interesting on the racing side here. But again, we are now going to sit and wait in this sort of hold screen. I'm going to jump over and see if there's anything in Discord for us, if we've got some more races there let me say some more driver point of views for us to have a look at. So apologies for the menu screen, but you know what? Well, let me just say that Formula F1 24 is just pretty stupid when it comes to that sort of thing. All right, let's have a look here. Jonko, thank you for sharing your POV with us as well. I'll definitely be happy to put that onto the screen. Folks, so if I have a look quickly at what they're. I don't want to share their what they're doing, but it looks like we're in for a completely sunny race. It looks like clear skies all the way, track temperature at a 38 degrees, and air temperature at a mild 25. So certainly good enough to get some temperature into the tires. And of course, the two strategies here definitely, one stop would be pretty safe, I would say. But are you going to go hard mediums? Are you going to try and do a soft, get some of the faster lap times out there, and then head over to your hard tires? Are you going to do a medium? Which one do you do first? Folks, we're seeing different strategies here. We're seeing different settings happening. If you want to see what some of these top drivers are doing, you can jump over to their point of view races, and you'll be able to see what's happening, folks. We'll try and as well switch in between those a little bit as well. I'm going to try and do some little bit of handy dandy sharing here of their screens as well. But again, don't want to give away their strategies just yet, so we'll sit in this menu for now. Folks, I'm going to put us on hold for a second. Enjoy the elevator music while we prepare to race. All right. Hopefully you weren't watching that too closely, but that was one of our drivers, and they do share their peer review, so I don't think they'll be too upset. If I have a look here quickly at the driver check-in, and let's just see. I think our starting point. There we go. All right, we're going to be kicking off in a minute or two, so I'm going to make sure that we're in the right place here, folks. I don't want us to miss anything tonight. We are in for an exciting race. Yep, 42. So that is the time we're starting, which is right now, folks. Let's see where we are live. I'm having a look here at our other drivers' streams. I don't see them starting just yet, so still sitting in the strategy window, which is a good tip, by the way, for all our new drivers there. If you're listening to this, especially those in tier 4, here we go, 24 seconds until we start. We have the green light Flambeau Turtle, so we're going to jump over to the racing any moment now, folks. I'm excited to see where we are going to come out today. 11 seconds to go as we count down, and everyone's ready. It looks like all the drivers are on the grid. Here we go, red lights, and all red lights are go. It is a race, folks. The race is on. Daddy Kheri off to a good start in the beginning there. Looking good. This first corner always so dangerous. He was able to get out a good enough lead in front of Tac Matrix there to stay out of any trouble. It looks like we've had a pretty clean race. Two cars running off in the background there. Tac Matrix right on the tail of Daddy Kheri here. He is chasing him down this straight. He is full on ERS, I can imagine, and into that first left-hander with another left-hander right afterwards. Daddy Kheri not giving up on this. He's right behind him. So they're towing each other around this race here with Osman right behind them. Osman definitely wanting to get into a better position than he did in the previous race. Always doing well in qualifying, but just not able to get out of the race. It looks like, folks, so far out of the first lap, we're looking pretty clean. No yellow flag, so we're watching the first two here as they chase each other around the corner. Here we have Tak Matrix being chased by Daddy Kheri. Daddy Kheri starting on pole, and Tak after the third corner able to get a bit of a jump on him and just head down that back straight and take a bit of a lead there from him. Not much happening else here, folks. The pack in the back still pretty tight. These three heading out, getting a bit of a lead in front of the third place. So the top three opening up almost a 2-second gap to those behind him. If we have a look here, this is still neck and neck all the way. Kick Sauber holding off that Racing Bull and what are they? Visa Racing, sorry, in this livery. There we go. Very nice and neat racing. A little bit of damage it looked like that Daddy Kheri took there after he ran off track. Carbon fiber flying everywhere, but he's able to stay on the track and make that illegal take on Tak Matrix as he heads down now into those final chicane corners. And as we can see, two strategies there, folks. Soft to medium, soft to hard. I saw a couple other strategies from our drivers. If we looked at the actual POV racing, this is exciting stuff, folks. If we have a look down the track here, and I'm going to jump down, looks like Daddy Kheri is going to hold him off for another half a second or so. Any moment now we're going to kick into some DRS, which is of course going to make this a whole new ball game. So Tak Matrix wanting to stay within 1 second of him. Daddy Kheri setting that fastest lap time, and then Bota smashing that fastest lap time with 1 minute 10 seconds. Obviously their car's full of fuel at the moment, the tire's still fresh, so we'll see those lap times tumbling down as we get later on. Diablo 3-second time penalty. There we go, folks. The first one, track limits from our McLaren driver down in 14th position. We've got a bit of a race here. I'm going to jump down to it. Clark and Drunk Teddy Bear in the Williams and Clark in the Haas. A little bit of argy-bargy there, but keeping it nice and clean as they head down into that corner. Hard right-hander, and then on the brakes, you've got to excellent throttle control here to make sure that you get a good entry into this corner, and then you want to carry as much speed as you can out of this hard right-hander into this nice slow left-hander, which sets you up for that final corner of the lap. So Clark able to get a bit of a lead now and take it over in the front there. Tak Matrix still fighting hard right on the tail of Daddy Kheri, so he's definitely not letting him go. As I look through the track, folks, this is all pretty much tight racing. Everyone here doing a fantastic job. There you can see the DRS, and unfortunately that Haas being swamped by the DRS train behind him. All of those cars picking up some DRS as they were all in the train, and Clark unfortunately the only one not getting some DRS. You can just see what sort of impact that has had there, and he just got completely swamped. Alright, let's jump up here. So we got a good three-way battle up here, folks, in the front as we're driving here with Osman. If you have a look, he is chasing down Daddy Kheri now, almost half a second, but for a moment there, right on the tail of Daddy Kheri. But these two are not letting each other go. So we're going to have to see now, can Tak Matrix hold off Daddy Kheri? Can Osman, who is obviously going to be fighting Daddy Kheri, who will have some DRS. So Daddy Kheri and Osman getting DRS in the zone now, so they're certainly going to be hunting down Tak. Tak is going to try everything he can, use every ounce of that battery to get that lead, but still within that 1 second. Are they close enough? No, not just yet. Let's have a look at Daddy Kheri, who's going to get full DRS now on Tak Matrix, diving into that first corner right on the tail, but obviously not close enough to be able to make up that position as they head down those first couple of corners before that long straight there. And again, Daddy Kheri opening up that DRS with that DRS train right behind him. Osman also got DRS. Bota also got DRS. So if we look a bit further down the lap, the race here, we see a Drunk Teddy Bear. He's now the leader of the Drunk Train. No, not the Drunk Train, the DRS Train. But that would be a good name for it, wouldn't it? Let's call it the Drunk Train. Alright, so Warrior right on the tail here of a Drunk Monkey. He's going to pick up DRS Is he going to be able to get a good exit out of that last corner and chasing up that hill, which is where you want to get that overtake done as you fly past those pit stops there. Let's have a look. Buerta as well now. Ooh, folks, I'm going to just jump. I don't want to jump around too much, but look at this. Buerta looking really tight. Sorry, I spoke about Warrior a little bit earlier, but Warrior chasing a drunk teddy bear. And then here we go. Buerta picking up on that tail of Osman there. But again, definitely got a bit of a DRS train. Everyone is chasing down Tac Matrix. Tac Matrix unable to open that gap enough to break that DRS. So he is definitely being hunted. And he's going to have to stay on his toes, folks, because I can tell you what, Daddy Kheri is hungry for some points tonight. All right, so here we go. So we got a bit of a breakup in the pack here. So we can see our front four pulling away a little bit. Oh, folks, it looks like we've got a car that's out. I'm going to try to get us there to see what's happening. It looks like it's a Williams. And yeah, it is, unfortunately, Quick Fall RSA had a bit of an out on the second corner there of the lap. But it looks like he's going again. I don't see any damage. Looks like an end plate is missing. And I'm not sure if there was contact there. We'll have to see if someone else picked that up. I'm not sure if anyone is behind them, but we don't see too much. So at the moment, folks, a pretty tight race through most of the pack. The only real big gaps that we have is all the way over here with a drunk teddy bear 5 seconds behind Buerta, and then a little bit further down we've got Tac Baby, who is a good 2 seconds behind Jonko. So the two Ferraris there being split by a little bit of time there. I'm not sure if Jonko would want to try and pull his teammate through the ranks a little bit, but Jonko definitely on the front there. Jonko the tail end of this DRS train actually. And Laser, 10-second penalty for Laser cutting corners. Oh folks, we just caught that. I'm gonna jump over to that. It looks like Laser has retired from the session. I'm not quite sure what that was. It looks like Skulk took some damage there. He has completely lost his front wing. We'll have to watch the replay there, folks, to see what happened. But definitely some contact there with one of the other cars. And as you can see, he just took it into that pit wall, really, on that second corner. So a little bit of damage there. He is going to lose a couple of positions now. What is he going to do? So sitting on the hard tires, unfortunately already. We have got a safety car, folks. So this is the opportune time now for us to get some fresh tires, get a nose change there. But the question for Skulk is, what does he do? Does he switch to mediums and try to finish the race? Is that even possible? On lap 7, that is a tall ask. In the weather like this, the racing that's going, we might not see another safety car. So this could be it. There, you can just locking up those wheels and definitely struggling. All right, so let's see up at the top here, folks. We see Tac Matrix, who was on the mediums, jumping into the pits. We see the Red Bull team there on the left as well, also getting ready. So a couple of the front runners here. Osman jumping into the pits, Tac jumping into the pits, as we suspected, putting on those hards. So not losing as much time behind the safety car. Could he be trying to do a one-stop race so early in the race here? Finish the race on those hard tires. It could be, folks. Let's have a look here. I'm going to pull up the tire interval information here very quickly. So we have a couple of folks jumping onto this now. Let's have a look what the track shows us. But Daddy Kheri getting out in front now, riding behind that safety car, having to keep the pace there, followed by Buerta, who did not pit. And then we see Teodric on 7 laps there on his hards. We see Jonko right behind him. We see Clark and Diablo both with some penalties next to their name, most likely 3-second penalties for track limits. We know that's true for Diablo. And then we got Blue Turtle at the back here, down in 7th place, also not pitting. Lord Cypher as well, not pitting. Revolution not pitting. And then we've got Tac Matrix, of the first of those who have pitted for one stop. So are they going to go? Tac Matrix jumping onto the hards here. Osman jumping onto the hards. A Drunk Teddy Bear also jumping onto the hards. Warrior and Tac Baby as well onto those hards. Here we see Kirkle jumping onto the hards, and then Skulk, who had the nose issue. So he had to do a nose change and has had to go onto mediums because he started on the hards. So certainly putting him in a difficult position here. But definitely the slightly faster tires on the medium. Reki also fresh set of hards here, and Roymere, interesting. I'll have to check back on the history to see where that was, but Roymere on those reds, so definitely on the soft tires there, and then of course Quickfall, who was able to actually, it looks like, make a bit of a recovery there after going off the track, and this safety car is certainly going to help him to get back into the back of the pack and chase down Roy Mead, who is just in front of him. So folks, it's always hard to see when we're in the commentating position here. We don't always get to see what is happening, so I'm going to keep an eye on the other drivers here and the other POVs to see if we can see anything. I'm hoping that we'll see, but it looks like the safety car is still going to stay out for one more lap at least as we lap around here for lap 9. I don't see any indication safety car in this lap. I'm having a look over here at Warrior Stream. Let's have a look and see what we can find on Jonco's stream as well. But this is going to be interesting, folks. Alright, so Jonco, remember Jonco is currently our driver championship leader. So he is definitely going to be one to go. There we go, folks. Safety car in this lap. Safety car is in this lap. So already we see Daddy Kerry backing up the pack a little bit as well, swerving to get a bit of heat into those tires there. I'm going to stay online here with Buerta because he's going to be wanting to hunt down Daddy Kerry. But Daddy Kerry on the 8 lap old softs now. That is going to be interesting, folks. That is certainly going to be interesting. I mean, there's not going to be much life left in those tires, so I'm not quite sure. Obviously, having track position here is beneficial, but this is a big enough track to give you a lot of space to overtake. So if it's always hard to defend here if you are on the slower tire, on that slower car. So Buerta also on the 9 lap old from the start of the race mediums, and he's going to be looking for Daddy Kerry's blood. Buerta excited for this race tonight, and I know he's really looking forward to putting some more points on the board, climbing up that driver standing, setting up for some excellent sponsorships for season 9 of this LSA Tier 3 racing. So definitely some of the races here, if you're not aware, we've got 4 tiers here in LSA, and some of them are definitely going to be moving up a tier, so there's definitely some promotion that's going to be happening, some demotion possibly from some of the higher tiers, and we're going to also see the decision remains to be seen whether we will be going to F1 25 or doing one more season on F1 24. That is the question. Are you jumping over to F1 25 the moment that it releases, or are we going to stay on F1 24 for a little bit longer until they fix all the patches? DRS is enabled, and they're able to get ahead of Daddy Kerry there, as Kerry is trying hard to fight off these, but I can imagine with those tires this is going to be a tall order. The Aston Martin now on his tail and hunting him down into that corner, having a look on the inside there. But while he is doing that, we have Jonco taking over Teodric there. Teodric having an excellent race last week and recovering really, really well. But they're losing out on position as he was looking for Daddy Kerry's blood. Jonco took the opportunity and has taken it. I did see a little bit of, well, I suppose they're supposed to be sparks, but as they went off the track there, but I don't imagine that there's any damage there. Excuse the fact that F124 still says there is safety car. I can assure you folks, the safety car is back in the pits and they are having a cup of tea. Here we have Buerta on those mediums, who are also already 9 laps old, but he's got some heat into them, and he has pulled a 1 second gap off Daddy Kerry, who is on those 9, 10, 12 lap soft tires now, and Jonco is absolutely going to capitalize on that, as Jonco is looking to gain some more positions here as he is fighting for the lead in that driver championships. Who is coming down here? We have Blue Turtle, who is hunting down Diablo. There we go, Blue Turtle taking the inside line on Diablo, and Diablo still sitting with that 3 second penalty there. There we see some more fake carbon or sparks flying off the track there, as the drivers use every inch of this track as they can. and Blue Turtle in that Alpine now, wanting to hunt down Clark, who is ahead of him. Now, by right, he's obviously going to finish ahead of Clark if they had to finish right now because of the penalties. But Blue Turtle, he needs to hunt down Jonko. Jonko is the person who is busy challenging him for that first place in the championships and in the season. So we are going to see some exciting racing here, folks. We still have 24 laps to go of this Brazilian Grand Prix here in LSA Tier 3 in round 12, which I'm told. Race 12. I thought it was 10, but somehow I didn't get that. Clark picking up, unfortunately, another 3-second penalty there, and staying a little bit ahead, pulling a bit of a gap here. But Blue Turtle now being chased by Tac Matrix. Tac Matrix in that kick Sauber. Remember, he, folks, was right in the front there and opting to pit under the safety car, switching to those hards, and he's already back here in 7th place, chasing down these top runners. So Tac Matrix as well, right up there, looking for some points. He is in 4th position in the driver's standing, and honestly, between him and first, so Jonko in first and Tac Matrix down there in 4th, 21 points, folks. 21 points between them. So really, really not much happening there. All right, as we're on board here with Blue Turtle, and as he heads down this short straight into the hard left before he heads into the pit long. And there we got Tac Matrix taking the inside line, using the outside, his tires going on the outside of the track there. Not much Blue Turtle could do. We've got a drunk teddy bear who has left the session, but if we just jump down here, drunk teddy bear, it looks like you are still in the session, so you're obviously going to need an invite. I'm assuming that he got a bit disconnected there. Let's see where our battles are, folks. Alright, so Tac Matrix down here. Sorry, you seem to have missed something here. Tac Matrix, no, Tac Matrix getting there, getting the jump there on Blue Turtle. But what I also see here as well is Diablo. Diablo picking up a position on Blue Turtle. I'm not sure if Blue Turtle lost a bit of track time there. We've got a yellow flag, folks, and it looks like another Williams driver, but he seems to be getting back onto the track. No, let's go. It's a drunk teddy bear. No, it's not a drunk teddy bear. Let's see. What car is that, folks? I can't tell you, I'm afraid. It must be the Alpine. I apologize. Right, there we go. So it's the Alpine. Lost it in that corner again, which has certainly hurt him a little bit. He's got a bit of damage there on that end plate, so that is going to cost him some time. I'm imagining he's going to be popping into the pits there and seeing what's happening. Alright, as we jump back into the front here, Jonko chasing down Buta, looking for that first position here. He wants to get every possible point that he can out of that race today. I'm sure he also wants to get that fastest lap, but we don't give any points for that, so that's just unfortunate. But Jonko getting DRS down that little bit of straight there, and that is going to help him into that corner. Buta fighting hard here, staying on the outside. Jonko losing a little bit. Looks like he lost control there a little bit as he was on the inside of that corner, swerving off the track and losing a position back to Teodric. So Teodric back in the running here, folks, back into 2nd position. And folks, I'm going to try and do something here quickly. Let me just see if I can pull this up. I'm going to try to jump back here to see what happened there, but it looks like Jonko just losing his position there a little bit. We'll try to jump into a bit of an instant replay here, folks, for you. See if we can find something. I'm not quite sure what happened there, but let's see. Let's see. Yeah, alright, we'll see. We'll get our race director to have a look at that for us. But Teodric now. No. Osman, that is a strange penalty, Osman. 10 second for ignoring a yellow flag. You know, when you get a yellow flag and you're in the sector, you do need to keep an eye on your speed there. This is a 3-way race, folks. Sorry, let's just focus in for a second here. Here we have Teodric, who has just taken first position. Well done, Teodric. Fantastic overtake there on Buta. Let's jump on board with Buta. Let's see what he's looking at as he looks down the tailpipes of Teodric into these slow corners and then this hard right-hander as you've got to set yourself up so nicely for the last corner before the long straight here. And Theodric looking really, really tight. Jonko on the tail of Buerta here as well, wanting to absolutely catch up there and hold on to it. So obviously we've got Buerta now who's going to get some DRS out of that. Jonko is within range as well, also opens up his DRS, and Theodric trying to defend there as best as he can, but Buerta coming on the outside there, got the inside line, but not got the traction and the drive out of that second corner. Jonko now challenging him. And of course, folks, this is what happens, isn't it? When we got these three-way battles, you've got two fighting out of position, and the third one is going to be opportunistic and take in that second position, and Jonko does that. Phenomenal driving here, folks. Clean, nice, easy driving. For those who are new to our league and haven't seen too much racing, or you're new to racing, folks, this is what it's about. You want to make sure you're giving enough space. You can be aggressive, you can drive hard, but you can still leave enough space for your competitors. So here we see a really excellent situation going on here. And folks, this race is tight all the way down the pack here. We'll pick up these top three drivers in a moment, but here we got Osman, who is still up there in 5th place, unfortunately sitting with a few penalties, so that is going to hurt him. And just to have a look there, it is that 10-second penalty from the yellow flag, so that is certainly going to hurt him here, folks. But again, looking at the different tire strategies, so remember we've got Tac Matrix, who has got 7 pits fresher tires than the top 3, so I think he's just got to sit there and wait for his time a little bit, but it's looking pretty good, folks. As we jump here down to Osman being chased down by Skulk as well, so there we see Skulk right on the tail, and of course the other Ferrari, Tac Baby, jumping in there. So let's have a look down here. It looks like Daddy Ferry has just oh, that was great timing to see that. A little bit of argy-bargy there between a drunk teddy bear, and hopefully he's not drunk, and Daddy Ferry, of course, getting the DRS. A little bit of squirrely on the overtake there, nice and tight, and trying to, I would say, warn a drunk teddy bear that he is there, and unfortunately not getting enough drive out of that corner, even with DRS, to hold that overtake. Going a little bit wide there on that one, and let's see if he can get a little bit closer. Roy Mir picking up another 3-second penalty here, and Daddy Kheri basically stuck here behind a drunk teddy bear as he tries to get past him. A drunk teddy bear a good 13 seconds down behind Warrior. So Warrior sitting in a very respectable 10th position at the moment as he chases down in front of him. He has Lord Cypher in the Kick Sauber and then Diablo as well. So both of these guys sitting with penalties. So hopefully Warrior doesn't get too tangled up with them and can get past them fairly quickly, because he almost automatically has those positions. But he wants to get down that road and chase down the other track. So folks, it looks like he's heating up in the front here. There we have Jonko now moving into 2nd position, holding that 2nd position. Theodric Buerta losing out a little bit, dropping down to 4th position. Tac Matrix right in the thick of it here with his much fresher tires. So Tac Matrix was out in pole position, not in pole position, but starting out in front there and getting the jump on our pole sitter, who was looking pretty good. But here we see this race is heating up, folks, and I'm just trying to see what's going on here. We'll try to go back to some replays perhaps after the race. It's just too exciting at the moment. So there we go, DRS playing a very important role here as we see Tac Matrix taking the outside on Theodric, and Jonko saying, I'll also have some of that. Oh, a little bit of argy-bargy there with Theodric and Jonko. Yeah, I'm not going to comment on that, but that looked like a little bit of a push and a shove. And Jonko on the inside line there, it was pretty much head-to-head as they went through that corner, and that's going to cost Jonko a little bit, falling back behind, down in 4th position, and falling into the grass with Osman here as well. But if Jonko can just collect it, gather it, put it together again, that's going to be good. We've got the other Ferrari there, also from Tac Baba J, who is chasing down Osman here and looking to get some points for the Ferrari team. If we have a look at that quick again, folks, and I want to pull that up just to see where everyone is. But Ferrari also hunting down points for that Constructors' Championship. that is for sure up for grabs here. Let's have a look where we are standing. Let's have a look. Ferrari in second place in Tier 3. So we've got Aston Martins. And currently, if you look where Aston is at the moment, we've got Teodric in second place, and we've got Warrior down in ninth. So looking respectable. But if Jonko and Tack Baby J can walk away with the points where they are right now, that is going to jump them up. Not quite to the lead, but going to definitely close that gap between them. So looking good here for Ferrari, as unfortunately Jonko has fallen a little bit out now. So if we have a look here, let's jump back. So we see Teodric in second place here, trying to close that gap to Tack Matrix, but Tack Matrix just seems to be driving his own race here on another level as he heads down this lap and pulling in a 1 second, over 1.1 seconds of a gap between himself and Teodric. So getting out of that DRS range, which is ultimately what you need to be doing. It looks like our other front runner. So let's jump up here. Let's see what's happening to Buerta. Buerta, who jumped into the pits now, and he's saying, I've had enough. I'm switching up here. He's switched to the hards. So on lap 21, Buerta switching to the hards. Let's see what that does for him. Is he maybe anticipating that some of the other front runners are going to still have to pit again? I'm not sure. It could be. When we look at the earlier runners, we know that on lap 7 on the safety car, that is when Tack Matrix jumped over to these hards. So he's been on them a good couple of laps already. Teodric now falling a little bit behind out of that DRS zone, so it's going to be hard for him to catch up there and chase down Tack Matrix. And then of course we've got Jonko with a good 2 seconds down the line, and just behind him there we can see Osman still with his 10-second penalty, and then Tack Baby J, or Baba J should I say, who I'm assuming rides or is a part of some sort of team that's part of Tack Matrix as well. I don't know. Maybe some clan at some point. If anyone knows, let us know. Keen to know. But Baba J also right on the tail here of Osman. So Baba J having a difficult race back in Mexico. Had a little bit of contact. I think still lost a nose as well. So certainly going to hurt him a little bit of where he finished up in the end. But here you can see he's going to get DRS down the straight. So the question here, folks, is has Osman saved enough battery for us to see a bit of a challenge here? Has Baba J been able to close the gap enough to see where he goes? And as that DRS opens, we've got Jonko, as you can see on the outside of the screen there, jumping into the pit. So Jonko coming down to 5th place, and Baba J making that overtake stick beautifully. Well done, Baba J. Alright, apologies for that technical interruption there, folks. We're just organizing some refreshments here in the commentator's booth. Alright, so folks, as it stands right now, Tack Matrix back there in 1st place, and pulling a bit of a lead more and more away from Teodric there. And I think, something that's definitely playing a role here is if we have a look at the tires. So Teodric in slightly older hards, so definitely fresher hards there. Jonko unfortunately picking up a 3-second penalty, and I'm sure that's got to do with his fresh mediums that he's just put on there. So those brand new shoes, not quite gripping it up yet, maybe not enough heat there. And here we have Teodric jumping into the pits. He's saying, I've had enough, but with 8 laps to go, what is he going to do? And we're staying down here in the pits with him as he dives into the pits. Let's see, what has the team got ready? I'm so curious to see here, folks. It looks like mediums from where we're sitting, and as he comes down that pit straight, it definitely is the yellow line. So he's going to finish the race definitely comfortably with those, but has he got enough pace in him to catch up? Warrior moving up to 4th position after those pits. So again, just having a look at this here, folks, if we have a look and see, that is a stop. Warrior has done his stop. So he has switched to hards. So he could be in a very good position here to finish this race. The real question is whether or not his tires can last him to the end of this race. Alright, folks, let's close up here a little bit, and let's get back to some racing here as we watch out there. So, as we see, as this was panning out here, Osman, wait, I'm going to show one more thing here because that's always interesting. So, Tac Matrix starting in pole, starting second and getting to first place. Tac Baba J, who, somewhere there's obviously some connection there, right on the tail now of his clanmate, brother, teammate, I'm not sure, but not right on the tail, but on the tail of his brother. So there you can see the Sauber down the line there, almost 5 seconds down the road, but Baba J keeping this position from Osman, who did start the race in fourth, so climbing up the race today, which is great work from him. Warrior jumping up 6 positions. Great strategy call. I think he called it really well on the tires, jumping to the hard tire on the pit stop and able to just slowly work his way through that field. Teodric picking up 1 position from where he started on the track. Bit of a more distant down the road here though, 5.5 seconds, 5.6 seconds down the road from his teammate, but this will certainly bode well for Aston Martin in the championship. So if they can, if these two Astons can work together, make sure John Coe stays behind, obviously that is a huge benefit for Blue Turtle. John Coe falling a little bit further down, but Blue Turtle is going to have to pick up a few more positions if he wants to get back into that first position in the driver standings here. Daddy Harry struggling a little bit here, falling a little bit behind, and now just being taken over by Skulk. It looks like it's Skulk got that DRS, able to finish that move, it looks like it. And Daddy Harry slipping in behind him. The Williams coming on the sneaky inside overtake here. A little bit of traffic, and that did not go well for a drunk teddy bear, unfortunately. Tried to take the inside line there. Looks like he overcooked it a little bit. And Blue Turtle being able to jump into 9th position there. Daddy Harry coming into 8th position of that. Falling down 7 positions from where he started. So certainly not where he would like to be in this position, but I think being caught out a little bit with those tires that he started on and that early safety car hurting him a little bit as well. Alright, here we have Skulk, who has not pitted at all, folks. So that is some interesting data here for the other teams to possibly consider. Skulk on the mediums, sorry, not pitted at all, I apologize, hasn't changed. Skulk staying in 7th position. But just to understand to correct me there, Skulk on 2 pit stops already. Remember, Skulk had the tire, the nose change, so he lost a wing in some contact with the wall and had to pit. So making a nice recovery here, and after 2 pit stops, sitting in 7th position. So him sitting on very fresh mediums, definitely going to be able to finish the race on that. And there we go, folks. That's the interesting breakdown. The top 4 drivers are the ones that pitted under the safety car, essentially, and then picked up their hards and are going to finish the race on the hards. But already they are 19 laps old. So the question is, are they going to be able to hold back Teodric, Jonko, and Skulk, who are on the much fresher mediums? This is going to be an interesting race to see how this pans out, folks. Alright, so we're riding along here with Skulk, who is looking good. He's got some distance between him and Jonko, so that's going to take some time for him to go. Unfortunately, Ricky as well, picking up another 3-second penalty there. And as you can see, folks, the drivers towards the back end here, definitely picking up some track limits here. That's going to have a big impact on the order if they finish the race as is, because if you look at the gaps, except for Roymir and Reki, pretty much everyone else is within 3 seconds. So if there's any difference there between the penalties that they've picked up, there's definitely going to be some position changes there. Alright, folks, it happened, and we did miss it, but here Tak Baber J is looking to fight back, but he has lost his 2nd position to Osman. Osman jumping up ahead into 2nd position here, and as we ride on board here with Osman as he's coming around these last slow corners here to this hard U-bend and hairpin, at least hairpin. Daddy Harry picking up 3 seconds, not what I would expect from him, with his experience, but just goes to show, folks, this is a track that is going to certainly test your ability to stay within the limits, especially as your your tire grip starts dropping off, your car gets a little bit lighter, everything's going to be a little bit more on edge. you need to work a little bit harder to keep everything together there. Otherwise, you are certainly going to be in some trouble. All right, Tack Matrix is pretty comfortably down the line there, and much like in the days of Lewis Hamilton, we won't really watch him because it's just boring to see, but as he's finishing out on those hards, it's going to be interesting to see if he's got enough distance there from those who are coming up behind them with the much fresher tires. So this is certainly going to be something interesting to watch. Osman looks like he's able to pull a little bit of a distance, but not much in it between himself and Baba J. Baba J holding on to his tail here, wanting to stay within that DRS zone. And then, of course, Teodric, who's now a little bit further back. But I remind you again, Teodric is on those brand new, few lap old mediums. So he's certainly going to be able to be finishing some laps a little bit quicker than those much older hard tires. So if we have a look at that, let's just see if we can see that, folks. Let me just see, fastest lap. So there we go. Just to give you some sort of idea here, Jonko on the fastest lap right now. Teodric with a 1 minute 10 flat, and then we have Tack Matrix with a 1 minute 10 981. So you know, Tack Baba J definitely there a little bit, but Teodric and Jonko absolutely smashing these lap times and lapping much faster than some of the cars in front of them. So I imagine those laps, these laps coming in, only 6 laps to go. So let's have a look at the we'll go back to the interval here, and we'll put this on, see where we are. So Osman here lost out back again to that position. These two are trading positions like boxers are trading blows, folks. Not much in it between these two, and I can tell you DRS playing a big role here. So Osman, of course, now falls within DRS range of Baba J. Baba J, I imagine, using every ounce of battery that he has to try, and there you can see, trying to hold him off there. Oh, a little bit of contact, but looks like they're both coming out of it clean. I don't see any nose damage, end plate damage, but some excellent tight racing. A little bit of contact, probably wheel to wheel there, so I don't foresee any damage. But Osman there now taking on the inside line, doing an excellent job of defending, knowing that that is absolutely the shortest route through these two corners. And he's going to swing onto the inside now as well as they head into the slower corners here for this last little section. Again, not much in it. It looks like we got a little bit more position change. So if we jump down to Daddy Kheri, and we see Blue Turtle jumping up a position here with Daddy Kheri. So Daddy Kheri falling down to 10th position, and Blue Turtle picking up to 9th. Looks like we've got a yellow flag, folks. A yellow flag. Virtual safety car is out. Virtual safety car is out. And I'm going to just see where that looks like. I think it is Reki in the Williams. Looks like he's lost a nose there. So they're going to have to clean some debris off the track here to make sure it's safe for the rest of the cars to come on. But definitely some contact there, I'm assuming. Osman. Oh no. Osman picking up a 10-second penalty. And no, Osman is gone. Did not finish the race. Not quite sure what happened there. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to pick that up on the track, but he picked up a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. It could mean that he crashed into the pit lane wall, which would be terrible after having such a fantastic race tonight. That would certainly be disappointing for him. All right, here we have Jonko. Probably the closest in the front runners here, so not much in it. Warriors also jumped into the pits and switching to soft. So just watching on the other race here, Warrior jumping into the pits there and jumping onto those soft tires. Let's see what happens. Jonko here, if I look on the other stream, is this Jonko? Yeah, this is Jonko, and let's just see what he's done. So Jonko on those mediums, back in 4th position, chasing down Teodric. He has unfortunately picked up a 3-second penalty, so that is going to hurt him a little bit. Some more speeding in the pit lane there by Kirkle, and again, you know, perhaps just coming in a little bit hot. underestimating how much more braking distance we need. I've got bad tires, I've got less fuel in the car, the speed is a little bit more, so sometimes easy to underestimate how much harder we need to brake there and make sure that we get into those pits safely. Alright folks, the pack is definitely widening up. Baba J unable to close that gap really sufficient enough with only 3 laps to go. I think that's a bit of a big ask there. 8.7 seconds behind our leader, Attack Matrix. I'll flash him on the screen for a moment there just to show him, but really not too much exciting things happening here. Great race though out of Attack Matrix. Excellent strategy call there, jumping to those right tires at the right time, and then of course executing on that with some fantastic lap times. Teodric only 2.7 seconds there behind Baba J. Currently that looks like our podium. Jonko certainly wanting to try and jump in and improve his current position, but that 3-second penalty is going to hurt him. Even if he is able to catch up to Teodric, which is not impossible, he needs to get 3 seconds down the road before he would be able to actually hold that position once the race finishes. Alright, we got Burta down here. Fantastic start of the race, just lost a little bit through the race here, unfortunately being chased down by Tack, and then 1 or 2 unfortunate situations that didn't play in his way, and then Skulk also almost 2.8 seconds behind here, and then of course Blue Turtle, who is wanting to challenge Jonko here for the championship. He is currently in 2nd place, only a couple of points behind Jonko, so he certainly wants to get ahead of Jonko, but again, too little too late, looking strong. Diablo a full 10 seconds behind Blue Turtle. Warrior jumping up a position here, looks like it. Yeah, nice neat overtake there, looks like. I didn't see any contact. Diablo is not giving up that easy though, so as he heads on the outside, Warrior cutting the corner there, which is a problem. That is definitely going to give him an advantage, but Diablo getting that position. So Warrior playing the smart game there. You don't want to gain an advantage while going off the track and getting that 3-second track penalty. So some neat head to tail racing here, and as Warrior is trying to find a way past Diablo here, this is some interesting racing. And of course, as they head down here, Warrior going to be able to pick up DRS. So we have to see now if Diablo can defend against Warrior with that DRS open. Has Warrior saved enough battery? Has Diablo saved enough battery? Is Warrior going to be able to close the gap enough? Diablo going onto the inside of the line to defend that, trying to hold that track, locking up his tires, losing a little bit, and those soft tires definitely playing a role here. Fantastic racing. Diablo not leaving quite enough space possibly, but him getting DRS down the straight. And then again, you know, Warrior going on the inside here to defend. Diablo getting the outside and being able to hold that fantastic outbraking Warrior in that corner and looking strong to hold this position. But Warrior is certainly not giving up. We got another DRS zone, folks. 2nd to last lap. I can't tell you how many times this has happened in Tier 3. We've had such incredible racing in the last 2-3 laps of this, and here we're going to stay on board with Warrior. This seems to be the closest race that we have. Oh man, folks, I'm going to have to jump up here. It looks like we got Teodric chasing down. Oh, we go the other way. Sorry, everyone. Oh, there we go. We got Teodric chasing down Baba J. 0.2 of a second. He goes onto the inside. Some excellent play there using DRS and taking that inside. I'm keeping a close eye on there to Diablo and Warrior, and it looks like Warrior made that corner, that overtake stick. Warrior just being able to take that using DRS, I'm assuming, down that pit straight and getting a bit further down the road there with those softs, putting everything he can onto rubber and heading down. Teodric able to make that overtake stick, folks. So Teodric moving up into 2nd place, not being able to catch up to Tac Matrix. That's a bit of a tall ask in 1 lap, unless Tac Matrix decides to take a pit stop. But even with that, folks, it looks like we are sealed deal here. Tac Matrix finishing that race in 1st position. Teodric in the last lap, basically, taking 2nd place from Tac Baba J. Our current championship leader, Jonko, coming in 4th place. Butter looking good here to finish in a 5th place. He's a little bit further down the line. Let's jump down to him as he comes over that finish line there with Skulk right on his tail. So Buerta there finishing up, Skulk coming in 6th, Blue Turtle there right behind Skulk, able to finish there in a very respectable 7th position. Warrior coming in a well-deserved 8th after some good fighting and some good strategy there. A drunk teddy bear able to recover from what was nearly a very bad incident, but able to recover nicely there. Diablo in 10th place. Daddy Kheri falling down unfortunately to 11th place, and just to show you the position changes there, yeah, man, losing out unfortunately. Daddy Kheri there 10 positions. Roy Mead coming out there, and then also we'll come back to those folks in a moment. Thank you for being with us tonight. Fantastic racing here by our drivers in Tier 3. Diablo gets driver of the day. Diablo for driver of the day. Impressive driving. Some good battles there that we were able to catch there with Warrior. So looking pretty good. There we go. Tac Matrix throwing some dance moves on the podium for us. Look at that. Proudly South African. All top 3 positions. South African drivers here. Just showing you that we've got it. We don't need to be declared refugees to be famous. We just need to be put into Formula 1 cars. Simple as that, folks. Alright, some good celebrations happening here, and let's pop on over to our results and see what the results show us. So there we go. Definitely the penalty flags, I think, having some impact there, but it looks like a pretty much even kill from Warrior down, further down, 3-3-3, and then, okay, Diablo getting 6 seconds there. Daddy Kheri getting the fastest lap there with the 1 minute 9, looking good, and so we had some exciting races here, folks. I just want to see if we can go down. No, we can't, unfortunately, but Lord Cypher looking good there in 14th position, so still scoring a couple of points in LSA. Alright, race director, I'm not sure we were able to look at this. I'm pretty sure it's going to kick us out before that. But folks, some very exciting racing there. I'm going to jump up a couple of things here for us quickly, just to show you, because wow, that was impressive. And here we go, folks, just showing you a quick replay of the last couple of laps here with Jonko. Sorry, not Jonko, with Warrior. Warrior here sitting in, let me get it like that. There we go. Warrior sitting in 6th position, and as you can see there, looking good on his hard tires, but opting to jump down into the pits at a point, and which I want to just pull up a little bit here, and switching from his hards to mediums in the last couple of laps there. That dropping him down a couple of positions. Doesn't look like our internet wants to play games today with us, so we'll leave that one, unfortunately, folks. But thanks for joining us tonight. Great to have you all with us. Appreciate you watching, and we're trying to make this better each and every week, so stay tuned for more, and look forward to the following race.